Supermarket, proud partner of the Carabao Cup. The road to Wembley begins. A chance of cup glory. Welcome to the Cup.
The League Cup is a trophy on which dynasties can start to be built. Dan James! He reminds everyone of just what he can do. And it's going to be a shot from distance. Oh, it's sensational. It's a first goal for the club for Callum Wilson. And it's a lovely goal. His second of the night for Josh Ajala. It is too. Absolutely ruthless.
Ante Cernat, after 10 months out, the Lumi against Griffiths. Their fine week continues.
And it's 6 for Brentford.
Harry Leonard does what he does.
Chaos inside the Forest box.
Yes, so much drama yesterday, some big results as well. But our focus tonight is on Deepdale, where Preston North End welcome Premier League opposition Everton, with a place in the third round up for grabs. And kick-off is at 8 p.m. But Paul Heckingbottom's side will be desperate to turn around their early season form, which has seen them lose both of their opening 2 championship games. A win against top-tier opposition would do wonders for their confidence. The team tonight, it's 7 changes from the weekend. But David Moyes was once a hero around these parts, spending 4 years as Preston manager, guiding them to the Division 2 title at the turn of the millennium. He leads his Everton side to Deepdale for a first competitive meeting here since he left back in 2002. It is just 3 changes to the side from the weekend for Everton. Michael Keane replaces Jared Branthwaite, James Garner is in for Hayden Hackney in midfield, and there's a chance for Tyler Dibling in place of Tyrant George. Well, elsewhere, there's 2 more Premier League sides in action, with Newcastle taking on West Brom. James Morrison's side have won all 3 games at the start of this season, so could an upset be on the cards at St James's Park? As for Tottenham Hotspur, fresh from their defeat at the hands of Brentford, they host another in-form championship side in the shape of Charlton. They beat West Ham at the London Stadium on Saturday. Both of those games are at 7:45 on Sky Sports Plus. And later tonight, we'll have the round 3 draw. That's coming up at about 10:15. So, will it be Preston North End or Everton in the hat? So with me to go through all of it, Jamie Redknapp and Jermaine Beckford. And Jermaine, we've got to start with you because you've got history at both clubs. You've scored for both teams as well. So how are you feeling for tonight?
I'm feeling intrigued. I'm intrigued to see how the day goes. Both teams have got something to prove to the other, and I'm just happy to be here. So thank you very much for having me.
Well, we're delighted to have you. Let's have a look at some of the goals that you scored for the clubs, because
you could have given me one with a haircut. Jeez.
Go on, talk us through some of these memories.
Do you know what? Playing for Everton, unbelievable football club, great history, really passionate fan base as well. And do you know what? David Moyes gave me a great moment to just be free and play with freedom, you know. And this goal here, this was in the playoff semi-final second leg for Preston against Chesterfield. That was the second of my goals in that game. I did actually score a hat-trick in the final as well.
Okay, had to get that one in there.
Put out there.
just to say.
We left that one behind, didn't we?
But this is a really exciting tie, isn't it? Because Everton have gone relatively strong with their team, haven't they? Are you surprised with the team that Preston have picked?
You'll be surprised by Preston's side, but I guess Paul Heckingbottom's probably looking at it, I think he's been a really poor start. Let's give a couple of players opportunities to maybe cement an opportunity and get back into the team. And also looking at the weekend, they played Charlton the weekend, which isn't easy. Charlton have won their first 2 games. So it has surprised me a little bit, but let's just see. Sometimes by bringing in new players, everyone's going to be up for this one, that Preston dressing room. They're playing against an Everton side, Premier League. They want to show their capabilities, so it's not going to be easy. I think from David Moyes' point of view, he's gone strong, and I'm pleased he's gone strong. I remember they went out against Wolves last year and he left out Njai and I think 4 or 5 players. and I couldn't get my head around it. I thought this is a great opportunity. He is such a legend at Everton. The only thing he hasn't really done is won a trophy there. So to give up an opportunity to go to at least give yourself a chance to win this competition, it just feels like you're giving away a massive chance to cement your legacy as an absolute. He already is a legend, by the way, at Everton. But to go and win a trophy, could you imagine how good that would be for him? And it's shown over the last few years. You only get a bit of luck with a draw, get your right players, and Everton had a good start. I'm pleased that they won the weekend, so he probably thinks, no, let's keep going, let's keep this momentum.
Talking of momentum, they had a brilliant start, didn't they, to their Premier League season? So how much is that going to help them going into tonight?
It's going to help him a lot. Obviously, it's David Moyes. What he wants is 100% work ethic first and foremost, and you can't say any Everton side that he's ever managed gives less than 100%. But what he has here against this Crystal Palace side is the quality with Ndiaye. You've got the legs and the skill set and the mindset from Keenan Dewsbury Hall as well, and Barry. You know, he had a bit of a hard time last season. He scored a few goals, not as many as he probably should have scored, but the thing that he's been working on during the summer is working on getting stronger, hold-up play, his movement, making sure he's in the dangerous areas in the 18-yard box. The cross from Ndiaye was pinpoint, but he's still got a lot of work to do to get to win the header and then put it down into the bottom corner. And that's the area of his game that he's been improving on. He's still got a long way to go, don't get me wrong, but if he's able to continue on this little streak that he's just about to start now, you know, he could be an absolute monster for Everton.
Yeah, it'd be exciting to see. All right then, big night ahead for Everton. Let's hear from their manager now, David Moyes, with Juliet Farrington.
David, thanks for joining us. I know time is really busy. You've got a game to prepare for. You've taken this time out to talk to us now. If we can just go to the edge of the tunnel. This place you know so much about, Deepdale, so many memories, so many connections between the two clubs, but also where you started out as a manager. But it's the first time you've been back in a competitive game.
Yeah, it has. I've been back a couple of times in friendlies, etc. But look, it meant so much to me here. When I first played here as well, there wasn't the stadium what they've got. They built the stadium. But I think it was the foresight of the people who were running the club at the time. They were so good, they gave me every opportunity. They gave me more opportunities as a manager than maybe sometimes a lot of the young coaches get nowadays. So it gave me a chance to establish myself, and we done well here at Preston, and it was great memories.
I know you're well liked, I know you're very well thought of, but talk to me about that relationship, because you've had players who come here, they're players in the team tonight, Jordan Pickford, Harrison Armstrong, all had loan spells here in their part of their development. That relationship that you've kept going since leaving.
Yeah, well, I would always try and help Preston if I can. You know, when I was out of work on several occasions, they always looked after me. I came into the boardroom and came to the games here, watched a lot of championship games over the years. So the biggest disappointment for Preston is that they've never, of all the clubs in this region, they've all had opportunities to get in the Premier League. But at the moment, Preston have not been able to do that.
It does feel like a real cup tie tonight, doesn't it? Maybe it's because of that connection and that history between the two.
Look, I think every game's a big cup tie. I think that we're all got a level of pressure where we have to try and win the games. Everybody wants to win trophies if we can do so. So every cup game means something, but this one means a lot because I'm coming back to where it started for me.
And you're hoping for a bit of a run in this competition? I know you prioritise Premier League, but you go strong, don't you? Hang on, Stuart's about to come past.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry.
You can do this for me, Stuart, if you want to do it. No, I think that I keep getting asked the question. I think to myself, surely journalists aren't going to keep asking, do us managers want to win trophies? I feel as if, you know, they don't surely train you that at journalist college just to ask that. Of course we want to win. It doesn't always happen. It doesn't always work out that way, but I don't know any managers who don't want to win.
Very last question, Paul Heckingbottom. I know it's been a tricky start for him. I know it was a tricky end for him as well. But there's a lot of respect, isn't there, between you two?
Absolutely. I think he done a great job at Sheffield United when he was there, and I think he's come in, and I watched, as I said, quite a bit of Preston over recent seasons, and I think he's done very well. He's got limited budget here at Preston compared to a lot of the teams in the Championship, so he's done a good job, and I've got no doubt he'll make it really difficult tonight for us.
Go well tonight, David.
Thank
you for your time.
Okay,
Thank
cheers.
you. Take
See you
care.
later.
See you later. Bye-bye.
Yeah, he's in good spirits tonight, isn't he, David Moyes? You've obviously played under him. So what is he like as a manager now and perhaps when you were playing under him?
He's a lot more relaxed now. Do you know what? With the years of experience that he's had in the UK and overseas as well, he's had to he's had to adapt his managerial style because he's been working with so many different types of players with different personalities, different mindsets, etc. And you can't be hard and harsh with everybody, especially in nowadays, in the game nowadays, sorry. So he's learned that tough love isn't always the way. An arm around the shoulder works wonders as well. We saw that at West Ham, which is why he was able to collect the cup. But I do remember being on the end of one or two of his hairdryer moments.
Really?
Yeah.
It's
just for not tracking back.
Was he fiery? What sort of manager was he in his younger days?
So, like I mentioned before, everybody's got to be grafting, working hard first and foremost, and there's no shortcut for hard work, right? And my mind, I'm a striker, so we didn't always clash, but we had a couple of moments where I was saying, well, I'm preserving my energy for the final third, where I come into my own world, and he's like, well, it's a team game, so you defend from the front.
And this is my world.
And this is my world, exactly. So we had a difference of opinions every now and then,
right.
But at the same time, listen, the boss is the boss.
Cool.
So you can have your opinions, but when the boss speaks, you have to follow suit, toe the line, and that's exactly what I did. And, you know, I had a great time working with him. I learned so much from him, defensively, obviously, but also that it is a team game, and it's not about me. It's not about you as an individual. It's about us as a unit. And brilliant manager. But you can see that his temperament is completely different now. He used to fly off the rails, not physically attacking anybody, but he used to be verbally telling you where you've gone wrong, but in quite an aggressive way. And you can see him now. He's far more relaxed with it. He's brilliant. I've spoken to quite a few of the boys as well at the club, and they love working with him because he talks to them and he listens as well. I put that down to me, you know.
He's confident tonight, isn't he? I love it. All right, well, Everton heading over to Preston. Preston haven't really had the best start to the season so far that they would have hoped for. They've lost both of their league games so far. Before that, though, they managed to squeeze past League One Huddersfield in the first round of the Carabao Cup, with new signing Delano Bergzorg scoring the winning penalty for Paul Heckingbottom's side. Here is the Preston boss with Juliette Farrington.
Paul, you did say you were going to make changes for tonight's tie against Everton. Can you just talk us through your team, though, and the reasons behind you've made so many?
I can't say how many we've made. Listen, sort of working backwards from a Charlton game, really. We picked up one or two knocks in the last weeks. Hopefully nothing minor, and we'll have a couple of bodies back for the weekend. Yeah, that's reflected in what we've picked today. But we've also got players coming back, like Lewis Gibson, who missed the last game of a suspension and then an injury. So, yeah, it's the team we've picked for tonight to help us win this game, but also looking after the bodies because we are light, because we've got another game then on Saturday.
You mentioned Lewis there. There are so many connections, aren't there, between Preston and Everton, but also that relationship that these two clubs have too.
Yeah, definitely. Obviously with David, lots of connections. I know some of the stuff. We've actually got a lot of toffees in our staff as fans, a couple of players as well. So
everybody knows everyone in here.
Yeah, for a lot of people, it's a good night, but it's a game of football and a competitive one that we want to win, obviously. So that's what happens first and foremost. And then from my point of view, purely selfish, I want us to come through with a clean bill of health.
Clean bill of health, but also with a win as well, because I know it's been a tricky start for you in the Championship, and it was a tough end to last season too. Is it kind of just wanting to get that league form right?
Well, that's the priority, 100%. And like I said, I wouldn't ever prioritise this competition above the league, but when it's the next game, you just prepare for that one. And that's what we're doing. We've still got a hell of a lot of work to do in the last sort of 6 days of the window. We need to be busy. We have to be busy. Because at the minute we are way behind as pre-season's been really disrupted with things like that. And I think the last time I picked a team and a formation that I was happy with was probably Southampton, the last league game of the season. So, yeah, we've still got a lot of work to do.
Well, go well tonight. Good luck.
Cheers, thanks.
Thank you, Paul.
Cheers.
So it's a big night for Preston, hoping to beat Premier League opposition. We'll be chatting much more about Preston after this, but there are 4 games to bring you from the second round of the Carabao Cup this evening. 3 games kicking off at 7:45 on Sky Sports. Plus, League One Bradford City, who have started the season with 3 wins from 3, host Championship side Burnley. Elsewhere, Newcastle will look to build on their opening day draw with Liverpool with the visit of West Brom. We'll be hearing from the new Newcastle boss, Matthias Jaissle, next. And we'll also be hearing from Roberto De Zerbi, whose Spurs side will want to put Saturday's disastrous 3-0 defeat at Brentford behind them when they host fellow London club Charlton. We'll be back after this.
Compesa Market, proud partner of the Carabao Cup.
Good game, eh?
Give love to your dog every day. An Advantage Chewable every month.
Milo!
One tasty Advantage Chewable tablet eliminates fleas and ticks for a whole month. Advantage Chewable. Easy to love, easy to protect.
Advantage Chewable.
Devoted fans are here to be honoured for their services to football with Coral's Rewards Shaker. First to shake, it's Baz, who got the badge in 43 times last season. Your free bet's on its way, Baz. Next, it's the fans abroad. Why explore the culture when you can watch the footy? Finally, the fans who have their club in their hearts and also on their head. A super boost for that super fan. Get a daily guaranteed reward or offer with the Coral Rewards Shaker. Coral, we're here for it.
Whether you're a recliner, a snacker, or a chiller, Simba has a mattress for you. Aeroquel springs provide ultimate comfort. Our Cool Touch technology helps regulate body temperature, while anti-motion transfer can prevent being disturbed by a loved one. Save up to 25% off selected mattresses in the Simba Bank Holiday Sale.
Hello, you. It's not nice when you're being dined out on, is it? Soaring bills can leave you feeling that way. At Uswitch, our experts fight to get you fairer prices on your energy, broadband and mobile, keeping hungry beaks out of your pockets. Uswitch. We put you first. Energy, broadband, mobile.
Save on every range in the Oak Furniture Land Bank Holiday Sale. Now with 4 years interest-free credit and no deposit. The Oak Furniture Land Bank Holiday Sale. Now on.
Hey, you never called me back. I'm so happy to see you.
Here's today's top headlines.
I like your vacation photo. I like your cat photo. I like
Come on, baby, I'll show you how. Come on, baby, I'll show you how.
I sent you a friend request.
Watch Oscar Piastri set fastest lap.
Hold on, it's the babysitter. Is everything okay? Oh, good.
Yeah, let's walk, baby. Do your stuff forever you
Google Pixel 11 Pro.
chicken walk.
Cheerios, a breakfast that's high in fibre from oats, wheat and barley. That's a little win. Cheerios, little O's make little wins. And try the new Very Berry Cheerios. Enjoy the taste of berries in every bite.
Stop there. You know being a soldier is but focus, right? What you want to know is, what's in it for me? At school, I thought I was too shy to join the army. But look at me now. I'm able to talk to anyone. Even you, sir. That's what was in it for me.
You thinking what I'm thinking?
The main mission can wait. Take a side mission to McDonald's.
Football's back. And so are we. Join us for 1,500 matches. Sky Sports. Welcome to the show.
The WSL is back, and you don't want to miss it.
Because this is where my next chapter begins.
Where there is no easy game. This is where the noise keeps getting louder, and where the game keeps getting bigger.
One of the biggest players on the planet, two-time Ballon d'Or winner.
And this is where I will play.
This is the Barclays WSL.
Come see for yourself.
Sky Sports, welcome to the show.
Compesa Market, proud partner of the Carabao Cup.
Well, there's 4 Carabao Cup second-round fixtures to bring you on Sky Sports this evening, but our main focus is at Deepdale, where Championship Preston hosts Everton. David Moyes back at Deepdale for a first competitive match since leading Preston for Everton in 2002. Kick-off for this game, 8 o'clock. Well, Ipswich were among the teams to book their place in the third round thanks to a 3-1 win over Leicester yesterday. Marcelino Nunez picking up the goal of the night in the process. So the full draw for the round 3 of the Carabao Cup is coming up later at around 10:15 this evening. The ties will be played across 2 weeks, week commencing 7th and 14th of September. But first, the pre-draw, and in similar fashion to last year's round 3 draw, conditions have been implemented to avoid fixture clashes following the expansion of the schedule in UEFA competitions. So as a result, ahead of the main draw later this evening, we'll be holding a pre-draw to determine whether the Premier League sides who are playing in the Champions League and Europa League, which are Bournemouth, Arsenal, Aston Villa, Crystal Palace, Manchester City, Manchester United, Liverpool and Sunderland, will be playing their ties at home or away. Then in the main draw, we'll draw the opponents of those 8 teams before proceeding to draw the remaining 8 ties as normal. Okay, so now it's time for Jamie and Jermaine, who are going to draw the clubs that are playing in either the Champions League or the Europa League to determine whether their round 3 ties will be at home or away. Jamie will be drawing the teams and Jermaine will be drawing the home and away balls. Off you go.
The pre-draw.
Yeah.
Pre-draw, let's go. Number 4.
That's Crystal Palace. And Crystal Palace will be playing...
At home.
At home. Okay.
Okay, Pete.
Yeah.
Number 6.
That's Manchester United. And Manchester United will be playing...
At home.
At home.
All right, Pete, go again.
Go for it.
He has got a number. Number 5.
Number 5 is Manchester City. And Manchester City will be playing at home.
At home. I promise you there are away balls in here as well.
All right, Jamie.
Number 8.
Number 8 is Sunderland. And Sunderland will be...
Surely.
playing at home.
Wow.
Jamie?
Number 2.
Number 2 are Arsenal.
Hey, there you go.
And Arsenal will be playing away.
Arsenal won't be too happy about that, sorry.
Number 3
is Aston Villa. And Aston Villa will be playing away.
2 more. The cherries haven't come out yet, have they? Oh, here they are. Number 1.
Bournemouth.
Playing at home.
And they'll be playing at home.
What's this? This will be, obviously, Liverpool, right?
Number 7, Liverpool.
Will be playing
as well.
And they will be playing at home. Okay, thank you very much, guys. There we go. Well done. Lots of home ties there. I think there'll be a couple of teams pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Was it only one away? Arsenal?
2 away.
2 away. Oh,
Arsenal and Aston Villa, yeah, the rest all at home. You've done well there.
The Arsenal and Villa fans won't think that, but yeah, you know, it is what it is.
Yeah. All right, then, reminder that we've got the full draw coming up at the conclusion of the Preston against Everton game. Let's have a look then at how this is looking. So Palace, United, City, Sunderland, Bournemouth, Liverpool all playing their third round games on home soil. Arsenal and Aston Villa playing away. So Tottenham's season got off to the worst possible start thanks to their 3-0 defeat at the hands of Brentford on Saturday. Roberto De Zerbi will be very keen for his side to bounce back against Championship side Charlton this evening. Let's hear now from the Spurs boss as well as Charlton's Nathan James.
Roberto, you described tonight as an immediate opportunity to bounce back. What would you like to see from your side tonight to show that progress?
I would like to see a right reaction after a bad defeat Saturday, and I want to win the game for sure, increase and improve the physical condition, improve the quality of the play. It's a serious game for us, it's a serious target today.
Well, Nathan, a really positive start to the season, particularly that win at the weekend against West Ham. Are you viewing tonight as another opportunity to test yourself against a top side?
Absolutely, you have to, you know. Tottenham are a top club, top manager, top players. So, it's a wonderful opportunity for us as a group to test ourselves in a competition away from the Championship.
Savio's on the bench tonight. How happy are you to be able to name him, and what do you think he's going to bring as well?
I'm very happy about Savio, Pedro Porro, and Mickey van de Ven. For them, is the first time on the bench, and they're gonna play in the second half. It's important because we are building the new team with new players, and it's important they start to play.
What are you hoping then to see from your players against the top side?
Look, again, just to be us, just to be aggressive out of possession, to be really organised, to go and cause them problems. And then in the moments that we have, we want to use our structure. We want to be able to, if it is transitional at times, then we want to be able to have that threat. And we've got enough energy in the side, we think. And then, you know, the times we can play, we want to see that our structure's coming through, because ultimately we want to evolve. We're nowhere near these yet, but eventually that is the goal.
Yeah, exciting game there coming up, and of course you can watch that live on Sky Sports Plus. But let's talk about Spurs, because I'm sure you were watching that one, Jamie. But what did you think of the game? Was it a bit of a wake-up call for them?
Well, I was doing the game, actually, Peen, and I felt if there was a fixture that really didn't suit them at this present time, it was playing Brentford. Brentford were just had too much nous, too much know-how, too aggressive, and it was a Tottenham side that really had lots of players that are not used to playing with each other. And this won't be the team that resembles the same one in 6 weeks' time when Tottenham have all their new signings in and it starts to take shape. It was a really difficult afternoon. They didn't win enough duels. All the basic things you need to win a football match, they didn't do. And I think Roberto De Zerbi, I said it after the game, there's a few things I didn't like about even what he did, considering the players they had. He played players in odd positions. And I think they got what they deserved. They were really poor in the afternoon, and Brentford were just too strong for them. Now, that's not to say you can do better, because of course you can. When a manager comes out and says we didn't win enough duels before the game, he said, I felt this team wasn't ready to compete. You don't say that. That doesn't come out of your mouth. Archie Gray said the same thing. You know, so in that respect, that isn't good enough. Now, there's a few players today that he's gone with again. Bergvall had a really difficult afternoon. He gave the ball away a lot, but this is a massive opportunity for him now to go and make it right, to go and play better. Fernandes starts today, who I think is going to be a really good signing for them. Obviously, they've got players like Tonali, Van de Ven's on the bench, Savio, Marmouche is going to come in. Tottenham in a few weeks' time are going to be a good side. I've got no doubt about that. But that was a really tough occasion for them, and they need to do a lot better than what they did, you know, on Saturday. That's for sure.
What have you made of Spurs and sort of the signings that they're bringing in, and how much do you think that is going to help them, like Jamie said, in a couple of weeks?
Look, they're bringing in pretty decent players.
Yeah.
Savio or Savinho or whatever we're calling him now. Savio, he's a very clever player, tricky, intelligent on the ball, a little bit lightweight, but he's a creative player. De Zerbi likes his attacking forward players with a little bit of flair, a little bit of pace as well, and just the creative element to it. But the problem Spurs have are defensively as well, you know. So he just needs a bit more organisation, and I'm with Jamie when he's, you know, the comments that he made the other day saying they weren't quite ready for the season to start. Everybody starts at the same time. Yeah. You know, this is the Premier League, so every team are going to have players away on international duty for the World Cup. They're looking after themselves. They're going to stay fit. They're going to stay healthy, and they should know how to play and how to be organised and how to defend well and how to pass the ball to one another. And it was just, it felt like a little bit of a cheap shot. a little bit of a cheap shot, which I wasn't really a big fan of, because I like him as a coach. I think he's a really, really good coach, very intelligent coach. He's worked with some phenomenal names in world football, so you know he's got that experience. So all of the players that he's inherited, first and foremost, but also the players that he's bringing in, they're going to be looking up to him. And when they're hearing...
The amount of managers would have loved to have had this back in. So he's got to make it count. This is really important for him.
250 for
yeah,
million?
Good players. You know, they've got a lot of the players in before the window's closed, so there's no excuse of... You know, in previous regimes where it's took a long while to get the players that they want, they've backed him and given him what he wants. And I actually think that going forward in 6 weeks' time, I think we'll be talking about a really healthy, good Tottenham side. It's just right now that first one was a tough one to take. But they've got a difficult game tonight. Charlton have started the season really well. 2 wins out of 2, beat West Ham the weekend. They'll go into this game full of confidence, and Nathan Jones has started really well.
Okay, so that game coming up. Elsewhere as well, we've also got another game with Newcastle hosting an in-form West Bromwich Albion, who have started the Championship with 2 wins from 2. Here is the new Newcastle boss Matthias Jaissl, as well as the West Brom manager James Morris.
One name I think when you look at that team sheet that sticks out is Nick Woltemade, because he had some difficult times last season, and of course he was an unused substitute against Liverpool on Sunday. Is he starting up through the middle tonight, and where is his head at right now?
First of all, I'm looking forward to see him in the starting 11. He deserves it. He really trains hard. He's really committed. So hopefully today he can score. He's contributing, towards the team a lot of good things, and we can count on him.
I'm really excited for this game. I think we can impose ourselves really well, and it'll be a good test to see where we are. But again, our squad's going to be tested this week. I would have liked it in a couple of weeks, but we'll be able to deal with it.
This club won this competition just 2 seasons ago, and you've got a good record of winning cup competitions as a manager as well. Do you hope that's a good omen moving forward?
It's a good omen, yes. So we can build on it. It's always a difficult one as well. This balance between rotation and also trying to win. We have ambitions, definitely, and first of all, we want to make the first step. That's the most important thing today.
And it's a sellout here again tonight. You've got a very young squad as well, so it's a real learning curve, I guess, for them as well.
It's a great game to play in. The lads are excited. I'm excited. I know last year against Bradford it was 51,000, so we are aware of this, and I played here a number of times. It's a great place to play football.
Yeah, so that game kicking off in just under 15 minutes' time. Let's have a look, though, at Newcastle starts the season, because that game against Liverpool, what did we kind of learn from Matthias Jaissler's Newcastle side?
Well, they're going to be offensive on the front foot with pace. I mean, he's already got a bit more out of 2 players, really. Elanga, especially, I thought, was very good the weekend. He showed real pace and energy, and that's what you want. And also, Vissa were playing in a slightly different number 10 role. And they were very unlucky not to get something out of the game. Even my Liverpool allegiances, I thought they were really, really at it. You know, the fans got behind them. It was obviously an emotional occasion with Kevin Keegan and everything. The memorial towards him was beautiful. So I think they were right up for it. And when you go there, you've got to make sure that you stop that flow and energy that Newcastle play at. I thought that was a penalty. Lewis Hall was brilliant all game.
For him, yeah, for the exact reason you mentioned there. He was fantastic the whole game. Just unlucky that one moment. Sorry.
Yeah, no, they're good. But I think the manager looks like he's got that presence about him. He looks the part. He talks well. So let's see. They've got Tottenham Hotspur the weekend, which will be a good game as well. But I think he'll be looking, just need to get a few more players in as well. That's what they need. And
Elanga said it was fun to play under him as well, which is always quite positive, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, it's always fun when you're scoring.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, exactly that. I think it looks like it was that. But I think for last year, he just didn't do as well as what he can. You know, we know he's got pace and ability, and a front man, and you'll know as much as anyone, you need confidence and that little bit of belief, and the manager going to you, yeah, you're starting again. Whereas if you think you're not going to be starting every week, and the crowd were undecided on him, but now you can see, week 1, he looked like a real threat, didn't he?
Yeah, but attacking players, as Jamie mentioned there, we thrive on the arm around the shoulder. Listen, you're my number 1 today for the next game, and the next one, and the next one. You've got 5 games. Impress me. When you know you're going to be playing the next 4 or 5 games in a row, honestly, it's like a weight's been lifted, and you play with freedom. And the way Matthias sets his teams up, very attacking, like Jamie mentioned there. On the counter-attack, I think Anthony Elanga's the fastest, if not one of the fastest players in the Premier League. And if they're able to continue setting teams up to be able to hit them on the counter-attack, they're going to be an absolute force.
We know how important this trophy is to Newcastle as well. 6 changes tonight. Is this just an opportunity for him to see some of the other players in a competitive fixture?
Yeah, players have earned the right to play as well. Like Willock scored the weekend when he came on, did really well, showed energy. Yeah, and you're giving players chances to stake a claim because he's still looking at him. He hasn't been there very long. I'm sure he's looked at a lot of tape of Newcastle, trying to see how they play, the best way to get out of them. But I think he'd have been delighted with that result the other day. Just takes the pressure off him for now.
All right, then, it is now time for you to choose which game you want to watch this evening, with Bradford City against Burnley, Newcastle against West Brom, and Spurs against Charlton, all about to get underway on Sky Sports Plus, or stick with us here on Sky Sports Football as we continue to count down to kick-off between Preston and Everton. Kick-off at Deepdale is in and around 25 minutes' time.
Compesa Market, proud partner of the Carabao Cup.
Games card.
Legendary flavours from legendary games are now on McDonald's. Crispy golden black pepper and garlic McNuggets and Dragon Breath dip have landed. The main mission can wait. Take a side mission to McDonald's.
Hey, why do you even care?
Why? What are you wearing there?
You like it? Made it myself.
Did ya?
Why?
Do you love it? Why is your daughter called Jurgen?
Just looked at her beautiful little face and I thought,
Why don't you kick the ball? Why have you done that? Why? I'll tell you why. Why the football not?
That's the spirit. Why the football not? Paddy Power.
Why don't I call a cab?
You know that being a soldier is exciting, but what you want to know is, what's in it for me? Being able to do the sport I love, that's what's in it for me.
Hey, you never called me back. I'm so happy to see you.
Here's today's top headlines.
I like your vacation photo. I like your cat photo.
Come on, baby, I'll show you how. Come on, baby, I'll show you how.
I sent you a friend request.
Watch Oscar Piastri set fastest lap.
Hold on, it's the babysitter. Is everything okay?
Oh, good.
Yeah, let's walk, baby. Do your stuff forever you
Google Pixel 11 Pro.
chicken walk.
Cheerios, a breakfast that's high in fibre from oats, wheat and barley. That's a little win. Cheerios, little O's make little wins. And try the new Very Berry Cheerios. Enjoy the taste of berries in every bite.
Tom's just used Confused to sort his home insurance. He'll be laughing till the cows come home.
Oh, please, don't stop on my account. It's not like I come back every day from work with you two sat.
Insurance feels better when you've just used Confused.com.
Who is whistling?
He's offside!
Maybe he's wrong. Maybe he's right. Maybe we all just see things differently. See? Maybe we're overthinking it. Anyone for orange? Maybe you like a bit of this.
Bet and get each week on Acca's, Bet Builders or Maltese.
Wowzers.
Everyone's got an opinion. Back yours at Betfair.
Kingsley took everything from me.
Now I'm going to take everything away from him.
Victory for Chelsea at Fulham to round off the opening weekend. We've got 6 more live games coming your way this weekend. Friday night, it's Crystal Palace, Man City. Saturday, Spurs, Newcastle. Choice of viewing on Sunday at 2. Chelsea, Brighton, Leeds, Brentford, Sunderland, Fulham. Then it's Man United, Ipswich at 4. And then we're back on Monday Night Football when Aston Villa take on the champions Arsenal.
Compesa Market, proud partner of the Carabao Cup.
I mean, I could talk a lot about Preston and how good they've been to me. Nearly every season I've been connected with winners and connected with winning.
Moyes really has been the bedrock of the Preston defence all night. Nowadays, David Moyes is rated as one of the best young bosses around.
I'm enjoying my job here. I'm a rookie manager. I'm just starting. We like to attack and I like to score goals. I don't want your viewers turning off after 5 minutes.
An absolutely incredible finale! Talk about drama! David Moyes himself could not have scripted this.
Folks say it's a sleeping giant here for a long, long time. I hope it's starting to stir.
A day to savour. The pride of promotion belongs to Preston.
I mean, this is about the players, it's not about the managers. I'm delighted, I'm very fortunate to be in charge of such a good bunch of lads.
The biggest compliment I can say is the club have always looked after me. They make me feel very welcome. They deserve an awful lot of credit because in football that means more than many other things.
Yeah, big night for David Moyes, who makes his Deepdale return this evening, his first competitive match against his former club since leaving for Everton back in 2002. The 63-year-old spent 4 years here as manager, leading the club to the Division 2 title. Kick-off between Preston and Moyes' Everton is at 8 o'clock. And for the Everton team then, Michael Keane comes in for Jared Branthwaite in defence. James Garner replaces Hayden Hackney in the midfield. And for Tyler Dibling, he gets his first start since January. As for Preston North End then, Thierry Small starts for Preston. He goes up against his former club today, while Delano Bergzorg starts again. It was his winning penalty that secured their place in this round. So speaking of Preston, they will obviously be hoping that tonight they can get a win, which would be a huge boost for them, because it's not quite been the start to the season that they would have hoped for. What have you sort of made of the start? And I suppose if you look at this graphic here, the last 18 games, just those 4 wins.
Disappointing, to say the least. There's lots of areas for improvement, and Paul will be frustrated with the start to the season, naturally. Over the last few seasons, especially the beginning of the seasons leading up to Christmas, they tend to start off really, really well, really organised, really solid, good performances. And with the 2 games, 2 losses, you know, he'll be really disappointed with the start. And the message he'll put to the players alongside the board would be, you need to do better. We need more players. We need reinforcements. Otherwise, it's not going to be a comfortable season for us. Preston don't want to be in the Championship for long. They want to try and make a break sooner or later for the playoffs to break into the Premier League. It's not close. It's not around the corner, but that's the aim. The problem they've got is the budget's not humongous. That being said, you look at the summer signings, the money they've spent so far this season, this window, and it's pretty impressive by Preston standards. But I do think there does need to be a little bit more quality being added to the ranks, especially in the attacking areas.
We saw as well last season, they were, pretty high up in the table halfway through the season. Then it started to dip. They finished mid-table as well. They'll be desperate to try and improve on that, won't they?
Yeah, getting to the playoffs. I think that would be Paul's aim, as you said, but they've got to keep some clean sheets. I think that's been their problem defensively, letting in too many goals. Paul will be trying to get some players in. Got a few days before the window closes, probably like every club, and he can get a few extra bodies in. That will certainly help their cause, and that's why he's mixed the teams up today. This isn't their priority, it's not going to be an easy game for them. But if they can get something out of it, even if it's just a good performance, just to get the crowd behind them, a bit of positivity, because that's been the thing right now. When you start the season, when you finish the season poorly, and then you lose your first two games, it just gets that that same kind of feeling. Yeah, so Paul needs to get some good results. He knows that. He doesn't need us telling him. So he just needs to get some results, performances, and everything can start to lift. But if he can get some good players in before the window closes, that will certainly help.
Let's focus on Everton, because there's a player that you'd already mentioned, Tierno Barry. It's interesting, actually, the sort of the competition that he has with Beto as well. But what are you expecting from him this season, and how can he sort of build on what he's had so far?
Well, he's a year older. He's had a year longer in the Premier League as well, so he's got that experience. And he's in a team now that understands his strengths and his weaknesses. So rather than them trying to ping the ball up to him and get him playing as a big, strong centre-forward number 9 hold-up play, which is not necessarily his strong points, put the ball in the channels, put the ball across the box, get the ball in the air to him, and give him something to chase after and get on the end of. That's what I mentioned before. Those are the areas that he's been working on. And when you're at a club for longer than a season, you start getting far more comfortable and more relaxed. It becomes more and more familiar. Your surroundings, your fan base become more and more familiar, and you just relax much more in front of goal. And that's something that, you know, he didn't do as much as I was hoping he would be able to do last season. And it sounds like I'm digging him out, but
as a striker, do you think this is his shot? He started well, obviously got one the weekend. He got his first goal until December time, and him and Beto flip-flopping between the two. Do you think this is his opportunity now to really say, or say to me, I'm your number 9?
100%.
Give me that chance, because the last thing you want to do is not think you're coming off after 60 minutes every game.
100%. Listen, he might still come off after 60 minutes, but he's going to be the one that's starting the games. And when you're starting the games and you've got, you know what it's like, when your name's the first one on the team sheet, the confidence boost that gives you, the energy boost that gives you, you know, the belief that gives you, you start believing in yourself more than you realised, you know. And that's exactly what he's got there. He's got the opportunity to really stamp his authority on the number 9 spot at Everton, which is a heavy shirt to wear. You know, Beto will be, you know, he'll be chomping at the bit trying to get in there in front of him. But look, he's started the first Premier League game of the season. He's got this one. It's his place to lose.
Let's talk about Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, because we know how important he is to Everton, but what makes him so good in this particular Everton squad?
I really like him. Got eight Premier League goals last year. Just a really good type, can do a bit of everything. Got a lovely cultured left foot. You can see now the goal he scored the weekend was beautiful. Just get it onto that left foot, hit it early, give the keeper no chance. He's got a licence to get forward. You know, and I think when he went to Chelsea, it was not necessarily too much. We just didn't get the chances, and that's very difficult as a player. He's gone to Everton. He's found his home. They've got Garner, Hayden Hackney, who's a player I really like. They got from Middlesbrough, had a really good season in the Championship, and he looks like he's going to adjust to the Premier League as well nicely. That midfield has a really good balance, but he's always the one that I feel if you give him licence to get up and join the two strikers, he's going to get goals, because he finishes really well for a midfield player. He's got that eye, he's got that knack, he sees where the ball's going to bounce in the box. I'm a big fan of his.
Do you know what I like about him? He's a leader without the screaming and shouting. So he's a leader by his work ethic and his work rate. He does a hard graft, and everybody else looks at him and says, right, well, I can't cheat.
Okay, lots more to talk about, but kickoff is very shortly around the corner, and when we come back, we'll be focusing on that between Preston North End and Everton. Kickoff is next.
Compesa Market, proud partner of the Carabao Cup.
All right, Sergey, usual.
Yes, please.
You think you're what I'm thinking?
Chief, we're executing a side mission. McDonald's side mission.
So welcome along to day 2 of the second round of the EFL Carabao Cup round 2 here. So welcome. Last night we saw Brentford, Coventry, Ipswich and Leeds all pick up massive victories. Tonight there's 4 more ties to get advanced into. Bradford against Burnley, Newcastle West Brom, Spurs Charlton, but our focus is at Deepdale. Progressing against Everton. It's an 8 PM kickoff here at Deepdale. Steve Morris has not been back here for over 24 years, and we can go through the team for you tonight. The person they've got, the goalkeeper Nicholas, The captain Gibson, Jordan Thompson in, Small in the bench. They got Clark, Holmes, Linsard. The match official is Tony Harrington. The assistant referee is Richard Woodward. Jacob Graham and Oliver Yates is the top official. Everton tonight. They've got Pickford, Mikolenko, Keane, Tarkowski, Garner, Armstrong, Dewsbury Hall, Dibbling and Bryan. Brendan Johnson is one of their summer signing team. He's on the bench. He's with George, Foster, Brian Patterson, Alcaraz, George Beto, 2. Except for the match for St. Houghton. Let's go around for ground right now for you. Actually, some match stats for you. Head to head, Preston come into this cup tie, losing their opening 4 games of the season for the opening weekend. They lost. The opening game of their whole campaign was a League Cup game against Huddersfield Town. They lost that. They drew that 1-1. They lost their opening game in the Championship against Bolton. They lost 2-1. They lost 3-1 at home to Wolves, and tonight they're coming on the back of this in 4 out of 5. I know about Everton. They've come into this game winning 3 out of their 5 for 1. They won 2-1 away in the club friendly. They beat Newcastle 3-1. They drew with Lyon. And Everton played their opening home, their first home game of the new season. They beat Palace 2-0. Well, this is what happened last night. Let me just go through the 4-time scores of last night. Ended Cardiff 1, Norwich 2, Doncaster 1, Middlesbrough 3, Barnsley 3, Crewe 2, Blackburn Rovers 1, Sheffield United 2, Blackpool 1, Lincoln 4, Cambridge United 0, Millwall 1, Fleetwood 4, Shrewsbury 0, Ipswich Town 3, Leicester 1, good win for Ipswich, Plymouth 2, Coventry 4, Sheffield Wednesday 0, Wolves 2, Southampton 1, West Ham 4, West Ham got a massive win last night, Stevenage 0, Reading 3, Stoke 1, Hull 1, 1-1 between Stoke and Hull 1, 5-1 penalties, Walsall 0, Luton Orange 1 by 6 penalties, Watford 1, Peterborough 5, Birmingham 1, Brentford 0, and Nottingham Forest on Leeds 2. And of course, Monday for first round, ended Plymouth 2, Exeter 1.
Signing Nico Gonzalez out at St James's Park, just signed for Newcastle from Manchester City. He is in attendance. He'll be watching Newcastle in action in the second round of the Carabao Cup against West Brom. That game currently goalless. And you can of course catch all of those games over on Sky Sports Plus. All of the games have already kicked off. All goalless at the moment, so check in with those Sky Sports Plus if you want to watch that. But our focus is on the 8 o'clock kickoff between Preston North End and Everton. The fans waiting to see the return of David Moyes to Deepdale. Can Preston do it against Premier League opposition? Kickoff is coming up next.
There are many reasons people choose Bet365.
So tonight, let's go check in at St James's Park, Newcastle West Brom. Elibaba! It's Newcastle no West Brom now here. No here so far. But now Newcastle have got Ramsey, Walcott, Murphy, Nick Fodeman, Murphy, Walcott all over the bench. They've got Happy Bands, Alanga, Wissa. For West Brom, they've got Townsend, Campbell, Williams, Price, Whitewell. For bench, you've got Tammy Bain, O'Leary, Phillips, South. It's scoreless if referee here is Robert Madley. It is Newcastle United now, but West Brom Nicholas and Osborne here, no Keegan, Eddie Barber, anything that, thank you. I shall check in North London for Spurs, who lost for opening against Brentford. Spurs Charlton. Will pay well a fantastic team, my friend. Well, how's it going now? Well, here it's Spurs now here, Charlton now here in North London. I'll go through the rounds for you. For Spurs, they've got Van Hecke, Gray, Solanke. The bench, we've got Conor Gallagher, Pedro Porro, Andy Robertson on the bench, Richarlison, Van de Ven. The other three here is Adam Hexek. It's goalless here, so Valo kicking. You can see for Santa, and of course, Nico Gonzalez, a new signing today. He's watching it for Santa. Spurs now Charlton now.
The thoughts of going back to Deepdale are long gone now. You know, that was an hour and a half ago when he first turned up. Now it's all about business as usual. Let's get to work, get the job done nice and early. I want a performance from every single one of you guys. Do not let yourselves down and do not let me or the fans down.
What could a win do for Preston North End, do you think, Jamie?
Changes everything, doesn't it? You know, that's it. It gives you that confidence, Peen, because at the moment, everyone's probably feeling rock bottom, feeling sorry for themselves. You know, with the crowd, you know, when you start the season, everyone goes into the season thinking, right, what's our aim this year? Can we get into the playoffs? But the first two games, you end up getting beaten. You know, you haven't kept a clean sheet. So right now, it's so important that you get that connection back with the fans. You get some confidence back in the team and a little bit of belief. And a game like tonight can change everything for you. Don't get me wrong, I think it's really hard. I look at that Everton side, it feels to me too strong for Preston tonight. But just make sure you get something out of that game. And one or two players stake a claim and make sure you're in that team for next week.
OK, let's hand you over to your match commentators for tonight. Lee Hendry is with Bill Leslie.
Team, thank you. Well, there's a lovely feel to this one as the players make their way out here at Deepdale. Two famous old clubs coming together in the Carabao Cup, two founder members of the Football League, and 139 years on from their first meeting, which came in the FA Cup. They meet in the league version for just the second time, and for the first time in 22 years. Some things don't change, though, over that time. From that meeting in Goodison back in 2004, they have the same man in the dugout, David Moyes, in charge of the Toffees again. But tonight, he brings his side here to Deepdale, the club where it all finished for him as a player and where it all started for him as a manager. Warm reception from the home support and indeed the 3,000 travelling Evertonians. So a lovely Moyes moment. There they are, the side he's picked, and let's run you through the two lineups here. Well, the Preston head coach, Paul Heckingbottom, certainly brings the changes here. He makes 7 in total from the side beaten by Wolves here at the weekend. The only ones that remain, long-serving Jordan Story at the heart of defence. New signing Leo Leroy goes again, as do Lonis Yusuf Arabi and Delano Bergsol, who scored the winning penalty in the last round. A debut for Lee Nichols in goal and a night to saver for Thierry Small, the England under-21 international, up against Everton, the club where it all started for him. All 7 who drop out of Saturday's side named on the bench here, including record signing Alfie Devine, signed in the summer from Spurs after a loan spell here last season. David Moyes certainly goes strong for this one. Just 3 changes from the side that got off to a winning start in the Premier League at the weekend. Jared Branthwaite's minutes are being managed, so Michael Keane comes in to join James Tarkowski at the heart of defence. Injury does mean Hayden Hackney isn't involved tonight, but James Garner fit to start after he came off the bench on Saturday. And after a positive pre-season, a first start since January for Tyler Dibling, with Saturday's scorers Cherno Barry and Kiernan Dewsbury Hall looking to build on their positive starts. A new name on the Everton bench, 19-year-old midfielder Harvey Foster, involved in a first-team squad for the first time. Lee Hendry alongside me to watch this one. Lee, you want to have a look at this fella, Arabi, who'll lead the line for Preston tonight?
Yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, he never started the season particularly great, but he's got off to a good start. I mean, that'll be a big positive, won't it, for Paul Heckingbottom? I think, listen, he will thrive off any sort of delivery into the box, and that's why I'm glad the likes of Thierry Smalling, thirds all out on them wide flank areas, but it's all going to be about delivery that's going to cause Everton problems for this man. He could be a threat. Great to see Tyler Diblin in the starting lineup. Big fan, I really am. You know, he's got lots of ability. And I think this is a big season for him. I think he can really set the Premier League alight. And this is an opportunity for him to show David Moyes what he's all about in strong Everton starting 11.
Lots of mutual respect between the two head coaches, Paul Heckingbottom, whose side have had a rocky start to life in the Championship, and David Moyes, who, after a rocky end to last season, got back to winning ways. An impressive start, particularly in the second half on day one against Crystal Palace. But for one night only at least, the league goes on the back burner and we focus on the League Cup. Round 2 stage, the Premier League sides not in Europe start their runs at this stage. And as Paul Heckingbottom said yesterday, Preston could not have wished for a better draw. But I think when he saw the Everton team sheet, even he would have been surprised how strong David Moyes has gone for this one, particularly after what happened last year when he rested a lot of players against Wolves and they crashed out at the third round stage.
Yeah, I can totally understand why. I really do feel this is a big season for Everton. I think they've stabilised what they have as a football club. I think this is a great opportunity then for them to materialise into the next round, and who knows, I think this could be a season where silverware is certainly in the sights of David Moyes. That's why he's gone strong. He believes that his team can go and produce.
Tarkowski's header they're dealing with, and Lee Nichols' first job in that Preston goal is to punch clear. Wilson Armstrong, who was on loan here as a Preston player last season, he impressed just as he did on day one against Crystal Palace this season in the Everton blue. Sliced away from behind by Leo Leroy, one of the new signings. He's come in from Basel, and the first corner of the evening is an Everton one.
Yeah, I think they're going to be up against it this evening. About being compact, not conceding early.
Two former Burnley defenders at the heart of the Everton defence and very much in position to try and get on the end of this. Tarkowski and Keane. What's going on inside the penalty area? Dewsbury Hall has a swing, but there might be a way out here for Preston. This is Bergson. Blue shirts flooding back. Bergson halted in his tracks, and Dewsbury Hall had it for a moment before Thierry Smalling snapped in. Now Leo Leroy spots the gap and drives for it. The rangy Preston midfielder.
Right to see Birdsall really take that ball up the pitch, check back. I know he didn't have options, but he's got pace, he's got strength.
And this is what Everton, David Moyes, want to see. And Diblin is run halted by the captain on the night, Lewis Gibson, will be keen to have a rather better outing in this competition than he did in the first round, where he got his marching orders against Huddersfield. This is Armstrong for Everton. Diaye. Dewsbury Hall. Iliman Ndiaye, the Senegalese international, with the first shot of the night, which trickles wide, having taken a touch off a Preston defender.
Plenty of ability in that forward line, haven't they, Everton? I think wide areas in particular. And Ndiaye likes to come inside and cause no end of problems for teams. A little block there, takes that strike on, just comes off the studs of Thompson out for a corner. Really good start from Everton.
With a much changed side, Preston had a pretty bruising afternoon in the end here on Saturday against one of the sides relegated from the Premier League last season in Wolves. Early knockings here suggest they might be in for something similar. Second corner inside the first 4 minutes. In by Dewsbury Hall. Luxol couldn't hold it. Nichols electing to keep it in. Everyone could see Ndiaye there, seemingly apart from Nichols, who almost landed his defender in there, but Preston and Leroy have it momentarily. In goes Jordan Storey. Nice early tempo to this one, Lee.
Yeah, there really is. I think, listen, you know what you're going to get from Paul Heckingbottom's Preston. They're going to be in your face. They try and make it hard for the Premier League outfit. There's no doubt. And yes, respect, but on home turf, you can't just, with all the respect to them, you have to get about them and not allow them to dictate the game.
Everton fans will be relieved when the transfer window closes next week, and Ndiaye is still at the club. Not been any direct links, but he's such an important player for them.
There's always whispers around, isn't there? I think some of that window and the door's shut. Those fans are happy because you know what you've got then, don't you? Particularly when actual players are still in the building.
Quick feed again from Ndiaye, Dibbling. Dribbler from Dibbling.
Yeah, just quite right contact. Ndiaye coming inside again, loves to do so. Great strike, really is it from Dibbling. Concentrating on hitting the target. Big evening for him.
Vucevic giving plenty as he got it back to his goalkeeper Nichols. Go with it well. We haven't had too many shocks in the Carabao Cup second round so far, but maybe one is on the cards at St James's Park. This is Isaac Price preparing to take the free kick against Matthias Jaisler's Newcastle, and West Bromwich Albion of the Championship lead at St James's Park. More goals in tonight's other ties. This is Dewsbury Hall. Leroy. Erabi. Garner, stole in, showed a little too much to Paul Valentine, the former Sheffield Wednesday fullback. Good intensity though from Everton, not making life in possession easy for the home side.
Really good on the ball, Everton. Real purpose about their play, isn't there, this evening? Competition's been important. This is such a big competition for Everton to really go and push themselves this season. Promise of silverware. So I feel like they've steadied the ship. Maybe a few more players in to the football club. Just see them do some sparkling things this season.
Sparkling things is exactly what Dewsbury Hall did on day one. Cherno Barry, this is Ndiaye, denied at the last. Tenacious defending, and it needed to be. Lewis Gibson eventually closing the door on Cherno Barry.
Yeah, well, it's a handful, isn't it? Cherno Barry. Ndiaye's been at the heart of everything. There's just a little bit of confusion there, isn't there? And then it's good defending in the end. He tries to get that stride towards goal. Seems to be able to get round and just cover that near post.
Strong on the team sheet, strong from the start here at the corner already. There you go, flapping a little Lee Nichols, the summer recruit from Huddersfield Town. Seven changes he made. He's going to learn a lot about the players that he has put in. A handful of his new signings in there, as we detailed when we went through the team news at the top. Delano Bergsog on loan from Middlesbrough. Youssef Erabi, his first season in English football, on loan from Genk. And Leo Leroy. Alfie Devine, £6 million is a giant fee for Preston to pay for a player.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, you look at their model, if you like. Yes, they utilise free transfers as much as possible. which is not quite there, is it? Loans, which they've had pretty much success with, but it's a big fee when you feel that budget there, the majority of that might be taken up on just the one player. I mean, usually you could see maybe 3 or 4 with that 6 million. Might just come back and bite them. I think with the start that they've had this season, I do feel that Paul Heckingbottom just getting a little bit frustrated. I think he wants more signings. He feels his potential here at the football club. Very good manager, but as I said, it's a big fee. Fantastic talent, there's no doubt.
Looking forward to seeing him at some point this evening, which I'm sure we will. During his loan spell last season, he certainly shone, as did the likes of Lewis Dobbin and Daniel Jebbison. Dobbin, who went to Southampton for £9 million. Jebbison, who you might have seen come off the bench for Bournemouth at the Etihad in the Premier League at the weekend.
Yeah, and I think, you know, going back to my point of bringing players in that can complement the Divine, is that into that we've just touched on. You know, you need something similar that he can work off, that he can explore, can have an understanding with. I think that's where the frustration might just creep in this season.
And of course, one other ingredient that they had towards the start of last season is wearing the Everton blue tonight. Number 45 on his back, Harrison Armstrong. And because of injuries to Hayden Hackney, Christian Norgard, who they brought in to replace Idrissa Gueye, both short of fitness at the start of the season. Armstrong getting his chance, and I think from what we've seen so far, he's taking it.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, listen, this is what's so great, isn't it, when you some of these younger talented players that get to on loan and really flurry. That's exactly what he did in a Preston shirt, and that's why he come in high regard. And you know, you learn your trade, you get your stripes, don't you? And then once you get the opportunity, you take it, grab it with both hands. That's exactly what he's done, particularly the midfielders that they have at the football club.
Tarkowski and Dibbling. Boxog detailed to keep a close eye on the former Southampton man.
There was definitely no surprise, was it, with how Everton were going to approach this game with starting 11 that David Moyes picked. And that just speaks why and what they want to do. They want to make sure that this tie is pretty much done with as possible, and that's starting this game brilliantly with high demands on the football. And obviously coming up against the Preston side that over seasons haven't been one of the top teams that have really dominated the football in possession stats. They've always been direct sense of play, but had to play football in the final third, which there's nothing wrong with that.
They're a championship staple, aren't they, Preston, in their 12th season at that level, following promotion under Simon Grayson. That came 11 seasons ago now. I remember his Preston side beating Swindon at Wembley to end what was a real playoff curse. They broke the curse and they've been at this level ever since. This is a really big season for them. Traditionally strong starters, and they haven't been able to do that, and they got a very difficult trip to the Valley to face informed Charlton at the weekend. And as we heard Paul Heckingbottom say earlier, that's very much had a bearing on tonight's selection.
Yeah, I mean, looking at the championship, every season we say it's strong. You never know what you're going to get. I have to say, I mean, starting the season, Preston's always been one thing that I've said that they've done very well. It's a poor start for their season so far.
And Moran gave it away. Armstrong now has found Ndiaye. It'll be a free kick to the home side, much to the relief of the Preston natives.
Well, this is an interesting one as well. The last 18 games, no clean sheets. I mean, that spells a massive awareness for Everton. Goals conceded an awful lot. I mean, listen, that's where they have to build. That's where I think the frustration does creep in with Paul Heckingbottom. You touch on that squad depth as well. It's very, very difficult when you come against Premier League opposition early on in the season. I think particularly when the games are coming thick and fast. I mean, what have they got? Saturday, Tuesday. It's relentless, isn't it? That's where you need squad depth. Absolutely is key in the Championship.
Yeah, and while wrestling for numbers, he's also trying to evolve the side and take it on. Last season, almost exclusively, certainly predominantly, they were a back three, back five side, call it what you will. This year, although they have toyed with it, he's trying to get the players in to play a back four. He says if they aren't successful in the remaining days and hours of this transfer window, then his hand's going to be forced. Here's Rowe, reprising the right-back role. It's a problem area for Everton, but he might just be the solution, the German midfielder. Garner. Vucevic. Hands up at the feet of Tyler Dibbling. Rowe. Murray in the middle and Jai as well. Decent distance on the punch from Nichols. Rabi prods it out to this left-hand side, and Bergzorg can come forward as Rowe seeks to get back for Everton. Early ball here might be required. Bergzorg, though, dawdled rather, and Everton got bodies back.
They certainly did. That's one thing that to look sharp on.
Dewsbury Hall, lovely ball through to Barry. But the Preston centre-half, Story and Gibson got back at him.
It's disappointing. I mean, one brilliant counter-attack, and then shortly after that, Everton have a golden opportunity. Barry should do better. Credit to Preston getting back defensively, but his physicality up there, maybe he could have had another touch. Didn't look like he got full contact on that strike towards goal that was going to trouble Nichols in that Preston goal.
Moran felt he was fouled, but Tony Harrington, tonight's referee, was very well positioned to judge. He felt otherwise. Tarkowski looking over the top for Barry.
There's been a couple of opportunities where you've been able to burst forward, and Bergzorg, listen, you've got to pick the right opportunities, and I think this evening that is going to be so key for Preston. Have a look at this. Last season they were so good at it. They were compact defensively, they frustrated sides. They've done this early on, and you can see where their threat is. I think it's going to be in them wide areas. I think Bergzorg on this left-hand side, and definitely Small on that right-hand side. They have the pace and the energies to get up the pitch, but the flip side of that, so how dangerous Everton were straight after that attack.
From Ndiaye, quite on the same wavelength. It's a mild, but very breezy Lancashire night in late August. Wembley, match for 21st, 2027 feels a long way away, but for the winners in round two, it's just getting through 4 ties and then you're in the showpiece final. Every year at this stage, Evertonians hope that they can embark on a cup run in this competition, and seldom does it materialise. This one, of course, despite their illustrious history, they've never won. haven't even managed to get close to winning it since they were last in the final back in 1984 when they lost to replay to Liverpool and a Graham Souness goal. Barry, Ndiaye, back to Barry, back to Ndiaye. Valentin has his hands full. Most do with this fella, Ndiaye. Rowe. Armstrong. Another bite at it. Ghana. Dewsbury Hall. Now by Lewis Gibson.
It doesn't seem a way through at the moment. Patient approach from Everton. He's been so bright and lively. I have to say that Everton out on that right-hand side, he's got his hands full, hasn't he? I think the movement of him coming inside, and obviously when you go out times and hug that touchline.
That's hung up towards Giano Barry. Comes through to Tyler Dibling. Off balance and in the end well off target.
Just couldn't quite get control of the ball. Just compose himself. Just getting it inside there. Maybe another touch that, for the sharpness, might have just opened up the goal a little bit more for him to take that strike on and trouble Nichols in goal.
A steep learning curve for Tyler Dibling during his first season at Everton after signing from Southampton. Came with the reputation of something of a boy wonder because of his contributions in the league in a Southampton side that were eventually relegated. But to adjust to life at the Hill Dickinson Stadium, it's not been straightforward for him.
Definitely not. I think there's plenty of time for him, isn't there? It's what we've seen with him out at the start of the match. Just feel that he really has to have that step up now, doesn't he?
This is Moran now for Preston. Bergsog, the Dutchman, formerly of Middlesbrough and Bristol City, so he has, he's relatively new here, plenty of experience of England's second tier. Gibson. Back to Moran. Vukcevic. Thierry Small doing his best to get on the end of it, but it's Ndiaye who does, but only temporarily. Tenacity from Ndiaye. Meant for his flair and tricks and flicks, but there was good industry and endeavour there.
That's the other side of the game that sometimes people don't look at and see what he's all about. It's great when you have that flamboyance in that forward area, but coming back and doing the dirty, horrible work. That's where you have to credit Ndiaye. Really good.
Attendance here at Deepdale tonight. A good initiative from Preston to limit the price on the tickets. 20's plenty, they said, for that, and it's ensured a healthy attendance. And Everton, as always, travelling in numbers. 3,000 or so of their supporters. They've sold out their allocation, making the hour or so journey up the A59 from Liverpool via Ormskirk, a journey that Everton haven't made for an awfully long time. 1961. 65 years ago, the last time they came here in an official capacity.
Great atmosphere, isn't it? It is.
Sheen has a go. Rush of blood to the head for the centre-half.
It did open up for him. I'm sure that he intended to do this. Always cutting across the ball, and that's why it's so high and so wide.
Another goal at St James's Park. Isaac Price's free kick had given Albion the lead. Newcastle hitting back. One of their new arrivals on target, Azumane Toure, on his debut. So 1-1 there. No goals between Bradford and Burnley, between Tottenham and Charlton in that London derby in the Carabao Cup second round, or indeed here, just past the halfway point of the first half. Preston 0, Everton 0. Meetings between these two clubs are few and far between. For the last 60 years or so, they've operated in different footballing spheres. Everton, of course, a top-flight staple since 1954. Preston outside the elite since Sir Tom Finney stopped playing back in 1960. They were relegated from the top flight the following season and have not, despite a couple of